federal authorities have constantly named the Civellas as the head family in the Kansas City mob. Over the years, there have been many reputed mob leaders in Kansas City. Big Jim Ballesteri may have been the first. He was followed by several others. But it was Nick Civella who may have had the largest impact on the mob in Kansas City. Nick Civella, a family man. But the FBI says he was much more than a husband and a father. In Kansas City, you might say he was the godfather.
In Kansas City, Mr. Civella in his world was all-powerful.
But you don't ask for respect. You don't offer friendship. You don't even think to call me Godfather.
The Godfather, a fictional movie, but federal authorities I talked to say it was very close to reality. In fact, comparisons of the Godfather character can be made to Nick Civella. Former FBI agent Bill Owsley supervised the squad against organized crime in Kansas City.
He was very much like that person. He had that same temperament and astuteness, and was a person who had his own code, his own concept of honor, and he was a person who could be reasonable. Nick Civella was a formidable opponent in a sense.
Nick Civella died in 1983, but his death did not mean the death of the Mafia in Kansas City. Mr. Civella? The man reputed to be Kansas City's top mob boss now is Anthony Civella, nephew of Nick Civella. He's under indictment for allegedly diverting $1 million in prescription drugs for resale. I tried to get Anthony Civella to talk to me.
Any chance that you might grant us an interview?
No.
You sure? We won't talk about anything that's going on with your life right now. I'm kind of looking back at the past.
No.
Why not?
I got nothing to say.
Neither Civella or his attorney would talk. Civella's reputed underboss is Peter Simone. I went to Simone's house, but after repeated efforts, he couldn't be reached. Simone owns some of the video poker machines seized by federal agents in a raid earlier this year. He and 5 employees are under indictment for running an illegal gambling operation.
The operators, the owners of these modified machines have rigged them in such a fashion that it is very difficult for the individual to win. And it is also tax-free money to the operator of the machine and the borrower.
Anthony Civella has already served more than 3 years in prison for racketeering and bookmaking. His son, Vince Civella, is in prison for refusing to talk about mob activity in Kansas City. Kansas City's reputed top mob boss was found guilty of fraud. Anthony Civella has been to prison before, but this time he could go away for a long time. Mr. Civella, will you talk to us quick, sir? Any comments at all? Anthony Civella left the courthouse last night, as he has done many times before, saying nothing. But the look on his daughter's face tells a story of sorrow. The Civellas have had 3 members of their family connected to the top or near the top of the Kansas City Mafia. All have gone to prison. With Anthony Civella found guilty of fraud, he will return to prison for the 3rd time.
It was important in that we think we were able to remove, if you will, an important piece of the mob organization in Kansas City. How important that is, time will tell.
Time has to...
Mob and 11 others already in jail. Michael Mahoney has more on the story for us from our newsroom. Michael?
Lori and Larry, this morning, prosecutors expected Pete Simone to plead guilty to some charges of gambling and money laundering. It is a case involving illegal video poker machines at a number of local bars. But at the last moment, Simone changed his mind and decided to take his chances at trial. As a result, 11 other men, including Simone's own son, are in jail for refusing to talk to federal agents, and they are still there tonight. Even though prosecutors were prepared to let them go if Simone had pleaded guilty. So tonight, the Italian group Basta, who says those 11 men are being persecuted because of who they may know and not what they did, are crying foul.
It has no relationship to Mr. Simone's plea today.
Since last May, 11 men, including one of Simone's own sons, Joe, who is under indictment in a different case, have been jailed on contempt charges by a federal judge for refusing to testify. Barabli says their case and Simone's are and should remain separate. Now it's a political cause for Italians in Kansas City. Basta is Italian for enough. This group has been pushing for the release of the 11, and freedom was apparently at hand until Simone backed out of the plea this morning. The U.S. Attorney's Office released a statement then saying that because of that, the status of the 11 will not be changing.
That these 11 young men are being held, I feel, truly as hostages.
Now, we would try to get an interview late this afternoon with the U.S. attorney involved in this case, Jean Paul Bradshaw. We were not able